see here.
All right, so let's move on to the next positions. We got through those. We gotta get through the rest of these, and then we'll do the mock draft real quick. All right, so the wide receiver, Tori McKillen, and you got Xavier Restrepo, and then I think you had Travis Hunter on your top three.
Yeah, I mean Travis Hunter, of course. I mean he's probably the best wide receiver, but he might end up being dual at
him over McMillan as a wide receiver as a whole. McMillan, I heard, is really fucking good.
McMillan's really good. Yeah, I think McMillan would be your
like
probably your toss. Yeah, I mean he's a big dude, 6'5", but he's only 210, so he's not a big body receiver. Okay. 6'5", 210. That's a skinny. He's a pretty skinny dude. He played out of Arizona.
And he says he's not a good blocker down the field, but that's
he's not a downfield blocker at all.
That's coachable.
Yeah. Restrepo, he has good hands. Finds open field,
not fast, body catcher.
Yeah, exactly. He does tend to let that ball hit him in the body. So
I hate that though, dude. That's the worst trait ever, dude. That means that's just asking for constant drops, dude, especially in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like you get hit, you need to catch that shit, and your hands need to touch that. It drives me nuts when I see this shit happening. So yeah, I mean, from what I've heard about McMillan, I'm pretty high on him as well. Kind of like what would you say, like a thin Mike Evans?
I think so. He's got really good hands. I do remember seeing him. Like I said, I didn't watch a ton of tape on these guys, but I know McMillan, the Arizona games that I did see. I mean, he was a big factor in him. I don't think he put up a lot of touchdowns. Let me look. Yeah, 8 touchdowns this season. So, but I mean, he had 84 receptions. So, the dude puts up a lot of catches. So, yeah.
So, if you had to pick the first wide receiver, who would you take? Your first wide receiver?
Yeah, McMillan.
McMillan over Travis Hunter?
I'd take Travis Hunter over McMillan if I could.
Okay.
Not at wide receiver because you could play him at both spots.
You'd rather play him at corner than wide receiver?
I'd play him at both. I'd pay him to play both.
You think he could play corner and wide receiver in the NFL? Dude.
Deion Sanders did it. Deion Sanders wasn't very good at both.
Well,
Travis Hunter is good at both. Deion Sanders tried to play wide receiver. Wasn't that really that great at it? Travis Hunter is good at wide receiver. So, yes, I would pick Travis Hunter over McMillan any day because Travis Hunter is that great of an athlete overall. He's the best cornerback, and he's a really good wide receiver. So, yes, I would pick Travis Hunter over McMillan because he adds that much more value to your team as a whole. So, McMillan's a great wide receiver, but Travis Hunter's a better player overall. So, yeah, Travis Hunter all day. Just because he adds value to your team.
Yeah. So, Travis Hunter, I like him, but I guess that you're right. Like, if you have a problem at corner or wide receiver, you really put him at both ways. It doesn't really matter. So,
and he's not injury prone. He's not injury prone. He hasn't had issues. You could fill him in when you
neck injury though last year.
Yeah, but I mean that's not something that's going to come back. So you look at it and you think of, okay, I need a player to fill in at wide receiver. You could have Travis Hunter come in and play that position. He could start at wide receiver on most teams in NFL. But at corner, dude's a number one. He's going to come in and start. Dude's going to shut down players. Like Travis Hunter is crazy good. Like I think he's great. And he's going to come in. He could fill in positions at wide receiver. I don't think he'll be a number one wide receiver, but he could come in and help a team at wide receiver. He's better than Deion Sanders was at wide receiver. We tried him out at wide receiver. So he definitely does have that dual threat capability at an NFL level. So, yeah, I think he definitely has more value.
Pogs, but he can't play physically about 124 plays a game. I would switch him every game.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying playing him every game. I'm saying that he has that capability of coming in. Say you have a wide receiver that gets injured or you need to rest him, put him in there, play him a couple plays or two. You don't have to play him the whole game at wide receiver. I'm saying he adds more value than McMillan because he can play cornerback that whole game, but then you throw him in at a wide receiver a couple plays. Now a team has to adjust to him because you've got that explosive player like Travis. He's
got some of the most like quick instinct adjustment. And when I was like,
dude is amazing.
He knows how
He's
to
smart.
adjust his body to the situation. Like, some players be like, it's a 50-50 ball and it's an awkward position where the corner has the advantage. He has that instinct, that ability to put himself in the better position to catch that ball. He has an instinct where it's like the game slows down for him and it becomes slow motion. And then he breaks down exactly what he has to do to get that play. I mean, there was a pick that he had this year that was crazy. One where he jumped for it.
Yeah.
It was like something you saw on fucking Madden.
The dude has great hands for a cornerback, right? And that's why he can play wide receiver. Most cornerbacks play cornerback because they can't play wide receiver because they don't have hands. So he's one of those cornerbacks that has great hands that are like, oh crap, we should play him at wide receiver too. Wow, he can really catch the ball. So that's why I'm saying he can come in and fill in when you need him to every so often. It doesn't have to be every game, every down. No, every couple plays when you need to fill him in at slot or something, throw him in there.
Travis Hunter is a kind of guy where it's like, even if we don't really have necessarily need at wide receiver in priority wise or corner wise, he's one of those players that I wouldn't mind the 49ers drafting anyway.
Oh, it'd be great.
Because he can fill both those things. I wouldn't mind that at all. A lot of people probably hate it. We need a tackle, but I mean, like, you cannot pass on that. It's kind of like Brock.
How would you pass on? Yeah, how would you pass on that great of a player?
In the first round because he's that good.
If he failed to us magically somehow, there was idiots in the NFL that were making picks, and he failed to us. You take him without a doubt. I don't care. I know we need offensive line. You take Travis Hunter, unless you're a moron. Like
generational
that many
type thing. It's happening.
If there's that many idiots in front of us and they don't take Travis Hunter, and he falls to us somehow, you take Travis Hunter. I don't care. We apologize, Brock Purdy, but you don't pass on talent like that. No, like that dude is that good. You do not pass up on him. Yeah.
Yeah. For sure, 110%. Especially when you like. I'm not saying wide receiver isn't a concern because you don't know what Ayuk's going to be like coming back. Pearsall, we don't know what he is yet. Neither counting, but Travis Hunter would give you a lot more reassurances in that situation, especially at corner 2 as well, where we most likely we're not
shut down corner.
Ward. Yeah, we're going to shut down corner. We're most likely Ward is not going to come back next year, filling in that third corner spot because we have 2 corners guaranteed next year, Green and Lenore. Outside of that, you don't have that third one to cover.
Travis Hunter becomes your number one instantly.
Boom, instantly becomes your number one. So, yes, offensive tackle is the highest priority, but you fill in 2 concerns and you have a generational talent at
You just had 2 first round. Yep. Well, technically, you have a first and a second round pick, I would say, with Travis Hunter because, I mean, wide receiver, I'd put a more late first round, maybe second round pick at wide receiver. But, I mean,
most players are not injury prone until they get to the NFL. That's true. Like you really know if they can take hits like that because they're faster and stronger.
It's like quarterbacks. You don't know if they're NFL talent until they get there.
Exactly. So, there's a lot of quarterbacks we can go through that are great in college, but just shit in NFL. Travis Hunter's like drafting a first and a second rounder.
Exactly.
Pick. That's exactly. So, 110%, Terry. You're on 100%. Point, man. On point. He's that good. Honestly, I'm not saying he's going to because obviously the other teams have more needs. But like if he went first overall, I wouldn't be shocked by that because the talent is just that good. And if the 49ers can trade up to get him like the 5th or 6th pick, I wouldn't hate that either. No. If they end up with Travis Hunter on some level, no matter if it's a trade or not,
I don't care.
I'll be fucking ecstatic.
I would say that's like the best first round pick I think we'd ever make.
It's up there with like Bosa.
Since in his era, since Bosa, it's just crazy.
Yeah, so I'm all for it, man. Obviously, we love Travis Hunter, so let's go ahead and get to the rest of the tight ends. Then we'll do that mock draft real quick.
I don't have a lot I had
you got Harold Finnan Jr. from Bowling Green.
I didn't do any scouting actually on him. So I can say Tyler Warren was the only one I saw from Penn State because I watched some the running backs from Penn State. He's great at catching, but just can't block for crap. So,
and that's not a Kyle Shanahan thing, so you probably wouldn't draft him anyway. So,
there are some, I think tight end. There are some pretty good tight ends though that I heard of.
There's Loveland. I heard is a good tight end.
Holston Loveland's a pretty good tight end.
Another one. There's actually a few good tight ends.
Gunnar Helm from Texas was another one, but I just didn't pay too much attention to tight ends this season because that's usually not a position I really ever watch. I don't really. I would say that's a position that, since we have Kittle, It's not a position. And running backs usually, I just love watching that position, and same thing with quarterbacks, just because I like, those are the two positions that I like watching.
Mason Taylor is a tight end out of LSU.
Yeah.
According to Terradome. He's 6'5", pretty big guy, 256 pounds. Okay. Didn't he win an award? I think he won some awards, didn't he, too, this year? I think he won some awards. We'll get more familiar with draft prospects as the year goes on.
I like, after the combine, probably.
Yeah,
I like watching the combine. That's usually when I learn a little bit more about the tight end position.